Welcome to the Honest Hour. I'm your host, Luis Acevedo, founder of MOT Media, and also the co-host of MOT Today, which is live every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Honest Hour airs Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what you're witnessing. We also have a sports channel if anybody's interested in that. MOT Sports usually airs sometimes on Saturday, and we'll have more information on the sports as that develops. But today we have a lot to cover, a lot to cover. But before we jump into some of these topics that we have here, and hopefully none of these topics will get us banned, I'm going to try to be tactful in my approach. But, I've been known to get banned off of TikTok live streams, getting strikes on YouTube. But I'm trying to change my ways. I'm trying to change my ways and approach it from a different angle, these topics, because I want to get out the truth. But it's difficult to do that in this kind of environment. So be sure to hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, share this across, because we're going to dive into some interesting stuff. But the first thing that I wanted to just bring up was just a thought that I've been having regarding the American Revolution and revolutions in general. I think that the American Revolution and revolutions in general are usually pretty stupid and pointless, because what ends up happening is over time you end up right where you were before, hence the term revolution. So if you look at the American Revolution in the 1700s, right, late 1700s, we fought for alleged freedoms from the tyrannical overreach of allegedly Great Britain. But now look at where we're at currently. And some people say that Great Britain has never left the throne and power over the United States. And so, if that's, and there's a whole conspiracy on that. But anyway, if you just look at where we're at currently with the revolution, a lot of people would say, well, our founders, green energy is one of the biggest lies in human history. The carbon footprint of a Tesla is insane. I agree with you there. But right now I'm talking about a little bit of the revolution, the American Revolution, and many revolutions to come. I think that they're all very pointless, right? Because they end up in the same place that they were before, as I was just saying. So if you look at, a lot of people say that, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, these guys would be turning in their graves if they saw what America was like today. Maybe, but maybe they would be the guys that would do something like, hey, let's start another war. Like, nobody here is ready for that. Nobody here wants that. And yeah, it's true. City of London prints more money than the Fed. Cool, right there. Bang, transition to power. Joe Biden fault. Yeah, right. So, it's pointless. And so the best thing to do, in my opinion, if you want to rebel, is to essentially, yes, you're right. That's why black people are slaves again. Everybody's a slave. Everybody's a wage slave. Cold weather causes heart attacks, yo. Yeah, right. That's what they say. Some people are just now spontaneously having heart attacks because of the cold weather. Right. In the middle of summer. Makes a lot of sense. In the beginning of summer, actually. But the best way, I think, to rebel, if you were to choose to rebel, would be to simply start a family, be a rebel, start a family, and to raise that family with proper morals and with meaning, right? To show that there is meaning and objective truth in the world. And to essentially don't try to fight against what is coming, but swim the opposite way, swim sideways. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate the likes. Much appreciated. Never play Uno with immigrants. They steal all the green cards. That's great. End the Fed, then we can have a country. I don't think that we should end the Fed. I'm against ending the Fed. I think the Fed is kind of necessary, especially right now. How will we live in this society, right? Uh, I'm sorry, I would donate, but that is socialism, and it would and it won't help you. Hey, I am for localized socialism in a way. I'll explain. Wait, what are we talking about? The comments make me concerned. We're talking about a lot of stuff here, but right now we're talking about revolutions and why they're stupid, and why the best thing to do is to, like you're getting caught up in a riptide, swim sideways as opposed to trying to swim against it, right? And I come from a Christian perspective on this, and we're taught not to rebel against the government, so to speak. If you look at all the people who were facing persecution in the Bible, they accepted whatever came their way for their faith, but they never actively rebelled against the government. Now, there was a time, right, when God was establishing territory, embrace the nuclear family. Exactly. The nuclear family is the real nuclear war. Get that right, because nukes may not be real. We would barter instead of being forced to use the dollar. But then you would have to, I mean, it depends on how big society gets, right? Because the reason you have the dollar is because of how big society is. We used to have multiple currencies way back in the day when the United States was in the Article of Confederation stages, right? And they also were able to migrate to other states to avoid debt and get away with it scot free. But then you needed some sort of cohesion for the society that we were developing. So I get where you're coming from. I really do. But I don't know. I think that the Fed is kind of necessary. I know that I need the Fed right now because I'm not totally self sufficient. And I'm pretty sure most people, if not all people in the comment section and viewing this, are not totally self sufficient either. Therefore, you would need the Fed because we need the monetary system in order to do our transactions. I'm starting a little bit to become more independent and off the grid in certain ways that I can, whether that be helping out at this local farm where I'm getting free eggs and free milk for my work. So that's huge, right? That's why right now in America, we don't get paid. We get coins to use in the store that we work at. Some people do that. Yeah, that's a reality for some people, but you don't need to spend those coins at those stores either, right? You can go other places. You can support local businesses, local farmers, farmers markets, etc., as opposed to supporting those big blockchain stores. That's just a slave mentality to think that. And quite honestly, we used to emit bills of credit, which was later banned in the Constitution. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So the nuclear family, as somebody had mentioned before, to embrace it, that's very true, because the nuclear family, I think, is the real nuclear war that's been waged upon the United States citizens and Western citizens everywhere, right? Because we're now destroying the nuclear family. And I've mentioned this before in previous streams that in order to get to the nuclear family, you first need to attack the extended family. Make the nuclear family extremely weak is to destroy the extended family. So grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, etc. You lose all contact with them. And this is what neighborhoods and cities tend to do, is they tend to as the family and then put you in an environment with nothing but strangers, and then you're looked at by society as crazy or abnormal if you would prefer to live next to your mom, your dad, or God forbid live in the same house as your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. That is frowned upon in society because, especially in the United States, no, it's not coins are only good in the company's stores, nowhere else. Leftist ideology destroys everything it touches. Yeah, it does. But other ideologies do this as well. I mean, extreme, like a fascist ideology will destroy everything it touches to its extreme. I mean, every extreme will destroy everything it touches. Now, I don't know, I'd have to think about that a little bit because I'm not one of those people who say, I'm right in the middle, because I don't think it's good to be lukewarm. But I do think a lot of extremes are bad, but I don't think all extremes are necessarily bad. I don't know. That's something I have to think about a lot because it's very, I don't want to say it's confusing, but it's easy to be like, I'm not an extremist at any level. I guess I would say I'm an extremist when it comes to nuclear families. Conservative ideology is destroying our country right now. I agree with that too. Here's the irony that leftist ideology and conservative ideology are both destroying the nation, because conservative ideology can't even conserve the girl's bathroom. It just simply makes progressive talking points palatable to a more conservative audience, to a more traditional audience. And it does this by introducing them slowly over time. If you look at what Fox just did regarding the transition of a 5-year-old, they actively supported it. This is Fox News, a conservative news organization known to be that. I'm not an extremist either. I'm just a normal person from 20 years ago. I like that. I like that. Even though 20 years ago, I'm pretty sure it was pretty insane too. And there were a lot of crazies and a lot of, because a lot of this stuff doesn't just build over 5 years, 10 years. I tend to think that we got to where we are today at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Thank you, Crash Bandit, for all the likes. I really appreciate it. I think that, this is but progressives have the clear mathematical solution. I think that you're being sarcastic, and yeah, that's obviously not true. I mean, to be progressive is to literally and logically be regressive. Like you just invert it, and then you have the truth. It's very simple when it comes to those kind of narratives, those kind of ideologies. You flip it, you have the truth. So progressives looks to what other countries are doing that work. No, progressives look to take humanity away from nature and do whatever is unnatural. And they cherry pick statistics. That's what progressives do. For instance, I'm all for familial socialism or communism, whatever you want to call it, shared property. I think that it is very natural for a family to share all of their resources. I think that's how they become powerful. I think that's how you actually build generational wealth. If you look throughout history, that's kind of the way it's done. And it makes poorer families more resourceful, and it makes them more economically powerful because they're pooling all their resources together. So think if you had 10 family members and all 10 family members were making $10,000 a year. What's that, $100,000 a year? You just became more powerful as a family than you would have just being on your own making $50,000 a year. You see what I'm saying? So if you bring the families together and you share that throughout generations, it's very powerful. And my point in bringing this up is a progressive would look at socialistic countries and say, well, look it, they have socialized medicine, they have socialized, etc., transportation, all of these things. But what they fail to realize is that over time, it is literally a pyramid scheme and it will fail. But we've had that mindset for the last 50 years and that has gotten us nowhere. That isn't true. We haven't had that mindset in the past 50 years, especially here in the West, if that's what you're referring to. We have not. We've had this mindset of rugged individualism where it's you get out of my house at 18 years old and you go be something, little Billy. And if you're not, you're a damn failure, son. That's the mindset that we've had. Like you said, the nuclear family is infinitely important. And of course, progressives fight it. Progressives do fight the nuclear family because it's more progressive to be polyamorous or polygamous. And I have nothing against polygamy in and of itself because I think it is natural for a man to have multiple women, but it takes a certain man to have multiple women, and they typically don't want to have multiple women. But there is a difference between volunteerism and socialism. One is by force, the other is by choice. I agree with that. Yeah, so you shouldn't be forced to do it. Like when the state starts forcing you to do collective socialism, I think that's wrong. But I think as a family, it is the right choice to then conduct your family matters in that way. And that would work if our taxes were used as they should be. Yeah, but that's nothing you'll ever control. And taxes aren't used as they should be in any country. To think that is to be completely naive. They're not. There's corruption everywhere in every country. So taxes will always be misused. And this is why I think it's very important, whether you're religious or not, to take a piece of advice from the Bible that says, give to Caesar's what is Caesar's. Makes your life much easier. And you get to keep a big portion of the pie, especially here in the United States. Our tax code is beautiful. A lot of people don't realize that. I'm starting to realize the beauty of our tax code. as I'm owning more businesses and I am doing more contracting work, I'm starting to realize the beauty in our tax code. I can write off so many things. My phone I can write off. My laptop I can write off. This microphone I'm using, the camera I'm using, I can write off. Portions of our home, because my wife works from home, she can write off a portion of the home on our taxes for write-off. I can do the same for the area I use as taxes for write-off. When we travel, because everything I do pretty much, I travel for work, I can write off the mileage. Our internet bill I can write off. There's so many things. There's so many things that our tax code allows one to do, but most are unaware of this. And it's just due to a lack of knowledge. I'm not religious. I believe in science. So you are religious because you just said that you believe in science. Listen to how you're speaking. You would still be able to do that under progressive policies. Exactly how would green energy cause blackout? Yeah, so we'll get to that in 1 second. I just want to touch on this a little bit. So you're saying you're not religious, but you believe in science. That's a religious statement. And also the science that you're referring to, 2/3 of all scientific studies cannot be reproducible. That's cool if you don't want to wait for an answer. You don't determine when we go on this show. So the 2/3 of scientific studies cannot be reproduced. That's 66%. 66% can't be reproduced. That means they're invalid. That means they're not scientific. And that's the science everybody is claiming to believe in. And I'm sure that number is outdated because science has only gone more insane. Now, I am not anti-science. I believe in science. I believe in observable science. I believe in the scientific method. And the two are not opposing each other, religion and science. You do realize the greatest scientists of our time, of the world, were religious. That the greatest sciences that we have, the fields of sciences that we have, are from religious men. Just put government subsidies solar on house, F blackouts. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that, but the issue is that the energy, like the energy being produced, ex-FEMA whistleblower cited military studies involving ethics around guillotines plus humanized mice. Interesting. I don't know what that is referring to in regards to our conversation here. I do think that there should be more capital punishment. I think that more capital punishment would be great, but I think that we need to have we need to have a high moral standard in order to have more capital punishment. And we don't have that right now. And this is also why I think that, we're going back to the revolution. This ties into the revolution. If you think about all the prophets, right? All the prophets in time, they always said, focus on you, like repent. And by the way, when it says repent, you're sinful, it just means you're missing the mark. That's all it means, literally. It means that you're doing wrong. And so repent, you're missing the mark. Whose morals? I would say God's morals, the morals of the creator of our universe. So I think that you can logically deduce morals. Green energy consumes more fossil fuel than traditional oil wells. Green is a scam. Fact. Big Russ in the house again tonight, and he gets it. He's coming in spitting facts. What is a moral other than that? The obvious. So, I mean, let's look up the definition of a moral. We'll get really technical here. And yes, when you unquestionably believe it, yes, God's a myth. Provably not a myth. I mean, you can actually logically deduce God is real. There has to be a God. Typically, when people say God is a myth, it's because they don't believe in the Christian God. They don't believe in the Muslim God, but they'll eventually concede logically that there has to be some creator, but they're not going to concede to the fact that the creator is the Christian God, which I respect. So moral, by definition, God is real and intelligent creator. Yeah. So concerned with principles of right and wrong behavior and goodness or badness of human character. So, I mean, obviously, who create nobody. That's a nonsense statement to ask who created the creator. Nobody, because the creator creates everything. The creator is infinite. It doesn't make sense to ask that. He can't. There has to be a beginning, and the beginning began with the creator. God is not religious. Well, I would say God is religious because the root word of religious is relagal, and relagal means to reconnect. And so religions are aiming to reconnect to God. And so they provide you with a moral code, they provide you with rituals, etc., in order to reconnect to God. Now, a lot of religions have been corrupted over time, but that's a whole other story. Always been, so why can't the universe be infinite? I don't know how big the universe is. Nobody does. So I don't know what your question is. Yeah, a creator, the Big Bang, a star goes. Where did the Big Bang come from? You realize that these they're really belief systems. They're falling apart, right? Like the Big Bang theory, there has to be a creator in the Big Bang theory. We love Prime Creator, 100%. Yeah, 100%. What he was stating was that God doesn't pray to another God. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was another comment in there, but yeah, the star. Where does the star come from? I mean, all right, let's just start very basic. Energy can't be destroyed or created. We can all agree on this, right? So energy is always here. What is that energy? What is that energy? What is that life force? It's got, I mean, like, this is so simple. God wasn't created, always been, so why can't the universe be God, always been? Some people believe God is the universe. Some people believe the universe is God. I believe that it's creation. Yeah. So, I mean, this is like, this is very, very basic. So, if energy can't be destroyed and it can't be created, it's always there. Who is the emitter of energy? Who is the being of energy? It has to be a God. That's what we would call it. So, yeah, I mean, that means when you die, since you're full of energy, do you really die? Huh, interesting, huh? Right? Like if you're full of energy, but energy can't be destroyed, do you die? No, but then that's a whole nother question. That's a whole nother thing. So early man had little understanding. No, I think early man had better understanding than what we do today. I think that's totally backwards and false. If it can't be created, why do we have electricity? Because you can redirect energy. Like you can control energy flows. Stars put out energy, but they don't create energy. They have energy. We emit energy as well, but we're not creating energy. Like you can't create it or destroy it. You're emitting it. You can emit it, but where does it originate from are two different things. You die as an individual human, but your smaller parts flow into another system. I tend to think that that's true. I tend to think that, when you die, you shed your ego and then you are just your spirit. But I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I don't really know. Electricity is life or spirit, in my opinion. Yeah. And where does that come from, my friend? There has to be there has to be an originator logically. There has to be a first mover logically, or else nothing makes sense. Like if there is no first mover and there's no entity creating order, you can't have order. You understand that, right? And if you can't have order, we can't say sentences. Something that simple. No, I think that we have figured it out. A lot of people have had it figured out that there is a creator. It's like very simple. I think that children have an easy time understanding these concepts because they're closer to God than we are as adults, especially going through our everyday existence in modern society. We get so detached, but I think that children have a really good grasp. So you're guessing just like everyone saying, no, I'm not. I'm just logically, there has to be a first mover. There has to be, or else the world wouldn't make sense. Literally, when I say it wouldn't make sense, I mean the world would literally be chaotic. Like there would be no order, and by no order, I mean that even sentences, even putting a house together, would be impossible because it logically has to be. I don't understand your question. It has to. It's that simple. It's really, really that simple. It has to. Or else there is no order. In the first order, and the first mover is also the last, it's the alpha and the omega. There is no order, only chaos. Totally false. Look at how orderly TikTok is running right now in order for you to see this. Isn't this a human? No, it is not. What are your thoughts on the increase in SADs? Seems kind of fishy. Awesome, sweet. So let's transition over from theology. I love theology. I love to talk theology and philosophy, but let's switch over to SADs. What are your thoughts on the increase in SADs? It's pretty obvious that it comes from the Jabadoo. That's where it comes from. And that's not mine, by the way. Quantum of Conscious, got to give him the credit for that word. He's survived on YouTube for very long, talking about these hard topics. What SADS? Right there, sudden adult death syndrome. That's what it is. And so it's increasing. It's increasing everywhere. And it's increasing amongst the population of those that got the Jabadoo. Those people are sadly shortening their lives. And it's because they're dealing with experiments and also a form of science that doesn't work. Now technology is just exposing it, but people have been away. That's not good, my friend. That's not good. But you already made, you've already done the deed. So stick around and see what we got to talk about today, because there may be some things that you can do to reverse it. I don't know. The more advanced we get, the more we see the issues as is. No, I think that the more advanced, I don't even think that we become more advanced. I don't. I think that the closer we get to reality, which is less quote unquote advanced, we then see truth more. mRNA want to discuss. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to go in depth on that, to be honest with you, because I've tapped out on the whole Jabadoo scene a long time ago. Well, that's cool, man. I work in a lab. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I've tapped out on the whole Jabadoo thing a long time ago. Once I realized that it just doesn't make any logical sense, especially to administer them to children when babies, they don't even have an immune system up to 2 years old. Otherwise, healthy people just dropping dead and medical professionals have no explanation. They do. The institutionalized academia professionals, they don't have an explanation, but the independent medical professionals and scientists do have explanations, and independent journalists have explanations, and it's called the Jabadoo. They are very new. They are very new. And if you're saying they're not new because they've been around for like 80 years, that's very new. Nikola saw this for us. Yeah, Nikola Tesla was trying to give everybody free energy, man. What the heck? mRNA may cure cancer. Well, the cure to cancer in a lot of cases is pretty simple. Stop eating carbs and sugar. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Carbs and sugar are the big cause of cancer in the world today. And a lot of people have beaten cancer by simply giving up carbs and sugar and going on a raw animal-based diet. So, yeah, I don't know that modern medicine is actually helping with cancer at all. I think it's perpetuating the issue. Nikola was trying to give us a long-lasting light bulb. Yeah. So, I've lost all interest in the whole. The only reason I'm bringing this up now is because I am, and I'm not here to debate people on like the minutia of what's in the Jabadoo and why it's bad for you and all that. I'm not here to do that. I'm not that guy who just sits and researches this endlessly for years. I've researched this enough to come to a very, very logically sound conclusion that is the truth, and that all Jabadoos are extremely bad for human beings. Extremely bad. They destroy your immune system over time. And on this particular issue, SADS, I wanted to talk on it because it's probably going to open up a lot of eyes to SIDS. That's the main reason I'm talking about this, which is sudden infant death. It's going to open up a lot of eyes to that because the current Jabadoo is waking a lot of people up that they shouldn't get it. And it's waking a lot of people up to the reasons why they shouldn't get it. And so then that's going to trickle them down to realize that all the other ones are also bad and fraudulent. I mean, why are all these companies, one of the biggest things, Ronald Reagan signed it into law, the security guard in the Buffalo shooting, hydroelectric. Yeah, I saw that, but I saw that. But I'm very, I don't know how real that event was. I'll just put it as that. I've watched the video numerous times of the live stream. Nope. I don't know what I can say, but there's no indicators. As a Native American, I know that religion is a way to control humans. It can be, yeah. I mean, religion is good for a lot of things. You want to have a society? You need to have religion. Look at every civilization. Every civilization had a religion. So yeah, in a way, yes. But getting back to the whole Buffalo thing, I don't think that that was a real event. I think that that was it glows. If you get what I'm saying, good old Terry Davis. If you don't know what I'm saying, look up Terry Davis. He was a schizophrenic programmer who made the Temple iOS, I believe, program, operating system. Religion is good, keeps people online. Depends. Depends. It depends. And you want to keep people online, don't you? That's why we have police officers. When people say this, it's insane to me. You want to keep people online. You have police officers. When somebody comes to your house, you have the authority to keep them in line. And so religion is just the net. You do like maybe some of you won't get this, but you do understand that the quote unquote controllers of the world are extremely religious people. Like extremely. And they're just distilling their religion out to you. Then your free will argument makes no sense. Yeah, the average IQ is 70 to 90. Maybe it is now, but that seems pretty low because 70 is like borderline retarded, literally. Religion is a big money scheme. It can be, but it isn't inherently a big money scheme. Arguably, Jesus and his 12 disciples did not go through all their hardship to establish what is known as Christianity today to make big money, being that was thousands of years ago and they're dead. Then your free will argument makes no sense. First off, I don't think I made an argument for free will. But I do believe in free will. And just because religion helps keep people in check doesn't mean you don't have the free will to disobey it, does it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. If you don't believe in that book. I believe that the Bible is heavily grabbled. I believe all religious texts are. I don't believe that we understand them in their pure form. Trump supporter, the 72 90 IQ stat. Yeah, same with Joe Biden supporters, though. Same with anybody who's caught up in mainstream politics and thinks that it's real on any level. Okay, it is real on some level, but okay, I'd take that back. It is real. and people have influence over politics more than they think, but it's from a moral standpoint. Bernie, yeah, people who support Bernie are also at that level. If God is all knowing, we have, by definition, I never once claimed that God is all knowing. And even if God is all knowing, it doesn't mean that he needs to know everything at all times. So if he doesn't need to know everything at all times, then the option for free will is there. Bernie Sanders is not the way. The Bible does. The Bible, I don't think the Bible clearly states you have free will anywhere. If you can find me a passage showing that, cool. But I don't think it states it. I think it implies it, but I don't think it clearly states it. And Bernie Sanders is not the way. He is not the way. I mean, if you want to destroy a country, if you want a true revolution on your hands to destroy the country, which we're already seeing, cool, do it. But I don't want that, you know. But if that is the case, if we do get a Bernie Sanders style regime, just know that in the Soviet Union, you were able to own a small plot of land and you were able to have some private property. So there is hope for the few who realize that and take advantage of it. Joe Biden is a conservative. That's not, Joe Biden is whatever they want him to be. And that's why they didn't want Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders is, okay, first off, the dude's a scumbag. Have you ever read Front to Back Objectively? I don't know what you're talking about. I've read a lot of things front to back objectively. And if you're talking about the Bible, yes, I've read the Bible numerous times, and I've read a lot of theology around it. I've studied a lot of theology around it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know the Bible pretty well. Let's see, that just shows how far left you are. Yeah, so the reason that they don't want Bernie Sanders is because Bernie Sanders isn't necessarily controlled by the powers to be. However, he is a scumbag. And you are religious. Yeah, I would consider myself religious. I mean, I don't attend a church or anything. I've sort of become anti-church because every church that I go to is just filled with cucks. They don't want to actually believe in what the text says. They don't actually want to believe in what we're taught. Okay, so first off, he worked at a commune when he was like, firstly, do you like career politicians? Answer me this. Do you like career politicians? Are career politicians typically scumbags? I'll wait for an answer on that. That's the first question I have. Actually, that's how I want to start this off. Is a career politician a scumbag, and do you like career politicians? Do you think you might be gullible? Depends on their politics. Okay. Do you think you might be gullible? Yeah, I mean, I am gullible in some ways. I'm open to that. You know, there are some things that to which I would be gullible to believe. Yeah, for sure. You know, I do have confirmation bias, as does everybody. I work on that, you know, continuously. Talking snakes, in your opinions, are they real? I do believe in magic. Yeah, I do believe that magic is real. I do believe that there are a lot of mystical things in the world. As far as talking snakes, I don't know. I've never seen one. Maybe. But just because I think that I believe in the Bible doesn't mean I think that it's all literally true. I believe a lot of the Bible is metaphorical. Now, to get back to your question, Bernie Sanders never held a job until he was a politician. He was kicked out of a commune because he refused to work. He has fantasies of other men doing his wife. A lot of his fiction is very sick and twisted. He's all around a cuck and a scumbag. I need to watch my mouth. I'm going to get banned off of this live again. But yeah, he's not a good man. Bernie Sanders is not a good man. He's lazy. He has no work ethic. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you should judge a man by his fruits, and his fruits are pretty bad. So, not a big fan of him. So, if you want somebody who's never had a job in their life to run the country, that's cool. Yeah, all that sounds like you are judging him by what you heard, not what you know. I mean, I've read his autobiography. So, I mean, that's okay. An activist, an activist, you know, activists are the biggest tools of propaganda in the world. Fact. So, as soon as you're interpreting metaphors, don't you think you have to allow for? Yeah, 100%. You do have to allow for misinterpretation. That's where discernment comes in. That's where wisdom comes in. That's where logic comes in. So it's not easy to interpret metaphors all the time, right? So yeah, for sure. And you seem to be emotionally attached to Bernie Sanders. He was arrested with an African. Okay, he feels like he is a compassionate human. Maybe I'm the gullible one. Yeah, yeah. Is Trump the way and the light in your no 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 Trump is no. That's hilarious. Oh my god, no, Trump is not the savior. Trump is he's a tool. But no one will ever know what was truly meant. I don't believe that to be true either. Actually, you know what? That might be true. That might be true. That might be true what you said. Nah, I'm with whoever is for the people. Yeah, and whoever is for the people is actually against the people. Fact. Because what they're doing is revolutions, and revolutions are insanely bad for you and me. Insanely bad. I am not for revolutions. I'm totally against revolutions. I am anti revolution. I think that the only thing that you should be focusing on in order to stop a tyrannical government is to focus on what you can do in your world to become more in line with objective reality, accepting who you are, building a strong family, and becoming more sufficient, self sufficient, and localizing supply chains. We would be a country. Yeah, I think that the American, yeah, I'm against the American Revolution too. I think revolutions are bad. What about evolution? I don't believe in evolution either. Um, not be need government though. 100% you do need government. I'm all for government. Hence why I'm saying I'm not anti-revolution. Keep the state. Let the state do what it does. Because the state is an outward manifestation of the citizens' inward world. Do you believe in science? I don't believe in science. No. I know that science is real. There is no need to believe in science. I know that objective science is 100% real. I know that the scientific method works 100%. I do not believe in science. No. Do you think windmills bring down property values too? I don't know about that actually. I haven't looked into it. I know some people want to laugh at that, but I mean, I can see how they would be an eyesore. And some people complain for like the hearing issues and stuff from like the windmills. I don't know though. I really don't know. Then we will be under rule. We are under rule right now. That's what I was saying at the beginning of this. The American Revolution did no good for us because where are we at right now? We're under tyrannical leadership. It's pointless. What does revolution mean? It means a 360. You know what a 360 is? It's a circle. It means your revolution did nothing. I think they need to turn the cameras off in Gov. Bunch of narcissistic peps, actors. Yeah. Do you believe in the Bible's teaching? The teaching of what in the Bible? I'm against it. I mean, a part of me isn't, to be kind of honest with you. I mean, from like a moral standpoint, like looking at the child, 100% not for it. But then there's also another part of me where I'm like, I accept that I'm a little bit of a eugenicist, because if you are that dumb to go and end your bloodline deserves to be ended. And then it makes the world better. I don't know. I'm conflicted on it. Mothers should not be sisters. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Mothers should not be sisters. But it's all backed by your religion. It was supposed no, it wasn't. That's where you're wrong. This is where a lot of people get confused. You understand that the founders were Freemasons. They were not Christians. And I do not believe in the freedom of religion either. That's an anti-Christian, that's an anti-Abrahamic view. So no, you're wrong. They were Freemasons. I'm against freedom of religion. I don't think that any religion should be able to be taught. Now, I am very open-minded in that I do believe that other religions have truth in them. But if you're going to have a nation, if you're going to have a tribe, I think that tribe should naturally be anti-freedom of religion. No, it is not. I mean, some parts I am being comical, but no, what I'm saying right now is not satire at all. I'm being serious. If you have a tribe, like in my household, everyone is wrong but you? No, I'm not saying that at all. A lot of people agree with what I'm saying. Like if you come into my household, I would refuse to allow you to teach. No, I'm not saying that everybody, if you just listen to what I said, I think every other religion has truth in it. I'm actually very open-minded when it comes to religions. I think that religions are like a hierarchy. So every religion has truth. Every religion can bring you closer to God. I 100% believe that. So I don't think that if you're Hindu, this has to be satire. No, evolution is provably false, logically provably false. The mainstream media is starting to come out and admit that evolution is probably wrong. And also remember that it's a theory. It's the theory of evolution, the theory of evolution, just like there's a theory of gravity. None of these things are law. Then you wouldn't be Christian because isn't the Bible based on the translation of man? You make no sense in what you're saying. To be a Christian means that I am a follower of Christ. And do you think churches should be exempt from taxes? That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know. Are you open-minded in the possibility of there not being a God? No, because it isn't open-mindedness. That's being illogical. There has to be a creator. Mainstream media, how convenient. I'm just saying that the mainstream media is even admitting that the theory of evolution is falling apart. But a lot of us have known that the theory of evolution is total nonsense for a long time. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. I believe in speciation. Darwin had a theory of speciation. I believe that that's very true. There doesn't have to be anything, though. There does, because if you don't have a first mover, if you don't have a person, or not a person, but if you don't have a thing in which order is originating from, you won't have order. So you believe them when they say something you don't agree with. No. Evolution source, please. I'm not going to provide sources here. You can look it up yourself. Do your own homework. Do some thinking about it. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. I mean, how can a eyeball come out of evolution? If you look at all of the fixed and variable mutations that have to take place, it's just mathematically impossible. You know that you would need trillions and trillions and trillions of years in order to have a human based on the evolution math. Like, you can use their math, draw it out, and you would need trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of years to even get a human being. So it just falls on its face. It's just not true. And also, Occam's razor, why make things more complicated? The simplest answer is that we're intelligently designed. Research for yourself. That's the problem. People have to stop thinking and waiting to be told. I agree with that. Is it possible that just because you don't understand it? No, I understand evolution very well. I just kind of explained it better than anybody typically does. Like, you got to have a lot of these permutations. You got to have a lot of these fixed and variable mutations that take place, these cells, And over time, they then create something like an eyeball. But have you ever looked at an eyeball? Eyeballs are insane. There's no way that would come out of survival of the fittest. This is stunning to me. I've reached the last page on TikTok. Yeah, I mean, none of these things are arguments, what you're saying. Yeah, I am. I am familiar with the Dunning-Kruger effect. I am 100% familiar with it. 100%. Carbon dating is math. How do you disprove it? That's kind of shoddy on the carbon dating. I mean, there's a lot of people who disprove carbon dating. I'm not an expert on it, but I don't know much about it. Soon we will evolve into biomechanics. You embody that. Okay, I mean, there's no argument there. You're not actually arguing with me at all. You're just throwing personal insults. Sads, you mean, yes, that's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. So, I mean, yeah, if you guys have real arguments about this stuff, if you want to hop on and talk about evolution, we can. Like, just have real arguments. Like, an argument is like having reasons, facts, and logic to back it up. I would love to see your internet search history. I bet it's cleaner than yours, Heaven VIP. I bet it's cleaner than yours, bucko. I mean, I don't know. What you'll see is a lot of zero hedge. Anyone show me evidence of radioactive material in asteroids? Hey, I don't know if this guy's on my side or not, but yo, you getting it. You getting it. I mean, I was just about to say something that was unrelevant to evolution. But go back to the first Olympics and see how far man has evolved. We haven't evolved since then. That's insane. Aliens? Do I believe in aliens? It depends on what you mean by aliens. So I don't believe in like aliens from outer space because I don't, not the dirty stuff, information wise. Yeah, I mean, have at it. It's pretty sane. I look at Zero Hedge News. Um, I look at some Breitbart. I look at some Political. I look at some The Hill. As far as who I listen to, I like to listen to a lot of Owen Benjamin. I like Vox Day. Who else? The only reason I listen to Alex Jones is so that way I can help guide some of the mentally challenged people that are over there. That's why. Life outside the Earth. We are currently evolving. I don't believe with that. I think that we're adapting. You know, we can adapt to our environments, but we're not evolving. That's insane. And then also, you'd have to get. It's just insane. It's just insane. Agreed. What revolution since the beginning of the Olympics televised? We have no, we do not actually. That's a myth. That's a myth to think that we have longer life expectancies now. Our for people living out in rural areas, they live longer, if not just as long, just as long, if not longer than we do currently. Fact. Fact. Now, do I believe in aliens outside of the Earth? No, because I don't know that we can leave Earth. I don't know that. Everything that I've seen shows that there's a firmament. So, but I'm not saying the Earth is flat either. I don't know. Water erosion, time. Is gaining knowledge considered evolving in your opinion? It's a form of evolving. Yeah. The Bible said 10 years ago they lived 70 plus. Okay, I don't even know what the hell you're saying. Finally, someone says green energy is bad. Yeah, green energy is. I don't think it's bad. I just think that it's I just think the narrative around it's nonsense. If a disease exists, we can find ways to kill it, and that's always been the case. I mean, what's his name? Help me pronounce his name, Paige. The guy, the founder of science, math, medicine, Hippocrates. Hippocrates said that the source of all disease comes from the food, from light sensitivity generation to evolve from light sensitive cell to complex eye. Yeah, and that would take trillions of years. Do the math. Do the math. Trillions of years. Impossible. That's evolution. It's not as good as coal. I don't know about that. And I tend to think that, how old is Earth? 2,000 years old? I don't know how old Earth is. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think the moon landing was real? No, I don't. Totally staged. 100% staged. Wait, you have a GF? No way. I have a wife and I have 3 kids. I'm killing it, man. I'm crushing it. I'm going to have a whole village of Acevedos. You ever heard of the Seattle 7? That was me, and 6 other dudes. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Absolutely, but impossible. I don't know what you're talking about either. But yeah, moon landing's fake. I don't think that we can leave the Earth. So I don't think that, getting back to your question, I don't think that the aliens come from outer space. I think that there's extra territory that's unexplored on Earth, or we haven't been able to explore. Paige, please help your mans. Nah, dude, like she's a ride or die. She knows what's up. Gravity, it's a theory. Gravity is a theory. I think that the theory of buoyancy is more accurate. And also, they're like saying that we can't. The only way what we believe in space is real is if dark matter is a thing, but we have no clue what dark matter is, and it's 70% of the universe. But if dark matter isn't real, then our whole thing falls apart. Cool. You can go on TikTok and watch astronauts in space. Okay. I mean, hey, there's a bunch of deception with NASA. That's cool. There's a lot of people who have a lot of hardcore evidence to show you the lies of NASA. Live. Yeah, that's what they say. You know that I can go live and it be pre-recorded? Fact. They tell you it's like, is it though? Probably not. It's probably fake. And also the space that they're showing you. I mean, NASA even admits that we've never left low Earth orbit. Don't you think that as humans don't know everything, and it's highly likely we have no idea about the bigger picture? Yeah, 100%. 100% agree with that. In my belief system, which is based off of the theology found in the Bible, Paul, one of the St. Paul says that in this world we see through the world, like we see half clearly. We see like barely clear at all in this glass. Like we're staring in this world through like a little eyeglass, and we can barely observe it. So yeah. Yep, all human space travel can't go higher than I can drive in 3 hours. Yeah, like, and also if you want to really dive into it, look at Operation Fishbowl. Do you talk this way at work? I work for myself, man. I work for myself. I make my own money. I'm a hustler, dog. Do you think me asking what industry you are in is professional? Okay. Yeah, I have a commercial cleaning business. I also am the owner of a media company, which you guys are witnessing right here. Also, I mean, I do a bunch of side things. So, yeah, I do a lot. There's a lot. I can't just like continuously list what I do. I mean, I do a lot. But the 2 main things I do, I would say, is this and my cleaning company. Do you believe all the Bible are just parts of it? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot. It really depends. I would say parts of it because I think that a lot of it has been. I think that a lot of it has been grabbled. So, I respect your bravery. Well, thank you. Yeah. So I've never been one to be afraid of speaking my mind, and this is also why we wanted to do this stream. This media company is to show men how to be brave to speak their mind in a time when society is just completely feminized and you can't even be a man. Like, and also work through ideas. Like, hey, I might be wrong, but I promise you'll never get a lie out of my mouth. We are past the moon. We are on to Mars now. How do you keep looking so young? Damn, Tito. Damn. I just I have to take credit. I can't take any credit. It's my good genes. You know, I have beautiful genes. It's our Puerto Rican genes, man. Whoa, 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 whoa! No toxic masculinity, please. I have a T-shirt actually made that we're working on selling that says toxic masculinity. I'm all about the toxic masculinity. So it's my good genes. It's the Puerto Rican genes. Actually, I'm sort like you're Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican. So the Puerto Rican. How old am I? How old do you think I am? How old do you think I am? Let's see. Did I miss some questions here? I feel like I did. No. Um, but that's what I was getting at. Like this is part of the reason why we wanted to start a show like this is because we want people to be able to like see what it's like to explore 40 something. Damn, I just got roasted. No, I guess I don't look so young. I'm 26. I'm 26. I'm 26. Not 40. I'm as wise as a 40-year-old though, as you can tell. Um, wow, do you believe what you just said about never telling a lie? Yeah, I do. I never said that I never told a lie. I said that I would never tell you a lie. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. The beard makes me look much older. I know it. It's all good. It's all good. I'll take it as you're interpreting my intellect and my wisdom as one of a 40-year-old. In the way that I can articulate my words and command a stream. Don't want to even ask you about trans people having rights. You can if you want. I think that they're mentally challenged. I will lie right in your face because I'm honest about it. All right, cool, cool, cool. People who argue against science usually get more attention, so they're biased. Okay. How you look 26 and 56 at the same time? Damn, you guys are just coming at me now. I don't know how I look 56, but okay. I mean, I'm 26. I'm a young man. Um, Maybe it's because I've done a lot in my life at 26. I've sailed the world, been to all 7 continents. Those are lies. I'm lying to you guys. I have not sailed the world. I have not been to 7 continents. You got the beard of a 26-year-old, but the forehead of a 56-year-old. Dang, I am getting roasted on the live stream. And it's all because of my boy Tito hopping in here saying, hate is going to hate. That's what I'm saying. They're going to hate. They're going to hate. I'm beautiful. I'm intelligent. I'm strong. I'm fertile. And I'm extremely potent. I knock out 2 kids one go. That's how I roll. No in vitro. I'm not into that dumb shit. Yeah, this is the podcast. MOT Media. MOT Media is the podcast. Find us on all platforms. I'm just playing all jokes. It's all good. It's all good. Are you trans? No, obviously not. I have a deep voice. I look like a man. I'm exuding a bunch of testosterone into this speech I'm giving right now. Looking at my beard. This beard shows somebody who has high T. I mean, come on. My jawline is also really good too. So yeah, I mean, guys, I don't even need a beard. I just wear a beard because it's what I do. Must feel great not living on fear of being canceled. Yeah, I think fear is very gay. Are you sure you're not trained? 100%. 100%. What? Yeah, my wife just says she can vouch for that. I'm very, yeah. Anyway, you said you wouldn't lie, but you just admitted you lied. You would Trumpy. Oh, you got me. Show them your Adam's apple. Yeah, okay. I mean, so this conversation went in weird directions. You have nice hair, but too bad it starts at the 20-yard line. Actually, I have a really good hairline. I just have my hair pushed back. I mean, I have a really good hairline. I have a head full of hair. It's luscious. It's nice and soft. I have a really good hairline. I'm never going bald. I'm going to have a head full of gray hair. I'm going to have a head full of gray hair. I can't wait for that day. Hopefully, God willing, I'll be able to age to have a head full of gray hair. About 40. Let's see here. Let's see. What would I want in my old age? Well, firstly, I want my family to own like probably thousands of acres. Like I'm not kidding at all. Um, I I want my family to have like thousands of acres of land, and where we live is in what would some would call a castle, and my sons would eventually be dukes around the other territories that we have. And my daughters, well, we would have to arrange marriages so that they would be, their suitors would also have the same status and nobility that I had created over the years of hard work. And my grandchildren, well, I would have hopefully probably like 100 grandchildren. That would be awesome. And have a village, have my village of people. That would be cool. That would be cool. No, but realistically, I would like to have hundreds of acres of land and a nice home and where my kids can continue to live on. Not joking about finding my daughter's suitable suitors, though. I will become very traditional on that. Like a cult. I mean, what is your neighborhood, buddy? What is culture, buddy? Simple life. Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I do, although I don't really have a simple life right now. I have a lot on my plate. I juggle a lot. Um, but I choose that. I can't operate any other way. That's just who I am. Let's see if I miss anything. People not to be so sensitive. That's what everybody should want. Q100, very Christian. You want to be Jeff Bezos, is what you're saying. Yes. Yeah, right. Expensive life. Yeah, it is expensive life. I get that. No, just any man will do for my daughter. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I will be very selective on the men that my daughter can date because I don't agree with this modern day notion that oh, you got to let your kids just be kids. You got to just let your kids. False. Cults do change. You, my friend, Native Dan 86. You need to pick up a logic book, my brother. You need to learn some logic, and we'll go. But I can teach you as we go. I studied logic. Seriously. Anyway, um, got to have the best of the best. Yeah, so like I don't agree with this notion. Haven't you ever seen West Side Story? I have not actually. I have not seen West Side Story ever. Are you building the flaming cross for the barbecue? Oh my god, this guy. Don't hurt his feelings. Oh my god. Oh, don't hurt his feelings. I'll try not to. But yeah, so I don't agree with this notion that hey, your kids can do whatever they want to do. I don't agree with that. I think that your kids should want to live up to your family name. And right now, ain't nobody wanting to live up to their family name. I disagree with most everything you have said, but you are definitely entertaining. That's awesome. Hey, that's cool. You can disagree and be here. I disagree with you. You're still here. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. It's love. I have nothing but love in my heart. Just know that. That isn't necessarily true. Thoughts? There are some things. I think that hate isn't a bad thing, but I do have a lot of love. Because I have a home full of love. I have a home of love. I was listening to this podcast today, and you can tell the men who have love in their life have a lot of estrogen in their life because they have a little more fat. It's called a dad bod, although a lot of dads aren't loved by their wives because they're a bunch of cocks, but that's a whole other thing. Um, yeah, I have a dad bod right now, and I'm loved greatly. My wife feeds us every morning. She's in the kitchen, pregnant, barefoot, doing the dishes, and cleaning them after. Great. Thoughts on slavery? I think slavery is very natural. It's a very natural thing. It can be it can be very beneficial in some ways. Family is the best. Family is the best. Slavery can be beneficial in some ways. I mean, if you look back in antiquity, a lot of people chose a life of slavery because if not, they would just be totally destitute, impoverished, and never get anywhere. God bless her. Yeah, she's an awesome woman. She's an awesome woman. The word is great. Bro, I'm black. LOL. Okay, cool. I'm Puerto Rican. What's up, my brother? What's up? We ain't too different. We ain't too different. You might like to take a bike. I might like to take a car. I knew he was pro-slavery. I knew he was pro-slavery. Like he was waiting for that this whole time. It's natural, bro. It happens. You're a wage slave right now. Everybody here who has a 9 to 5 is a wage slave. It's a personal attack on you, Felicia. Right? Right? Everybody who is working for that dollar bill is a slave. You understand that? If you have debt, you a debt slave. If you have a mortgage, you're a slave to the bank, which means you're a slave to the, wait for it please, drum roll. I don't know if I can say the word, but the J's, small hats. That's who you're a slave to, my friend. Mickey Mouse 2024, right? I mean, come on. Yes, I am. So if you got debt, if you work in a 9 to 5, if you depended on somebody else to get that dough, you a slave. Slavery is not a bad thing either. It is not. You know, biblical slavery says that you have to treat your slaves the same way that you treat your family. They have to eat the same food that you eat, and they have to have a similar living quarters as you do. Fact. And you have to release them after a certain amount of time. But they can choose to stay with you, and a lot of them did. You know? So, but hey, hopefully we have some jubilee come to this country because I am all for debt forgiveness. I think all student loan debt should be wiped out clean, 110%. I think that all debt should be wiped out clean. Good old-fashioned jubilee. That's the way to go. That's the way forward. But then you're going to have your economists. But what about inflation? Bro, we got bigger problems. We're talking about financial system collapsing, families collapsing. Like, bro, come on. You know, come on. We agree. That's very progressive of you. No, it's just very sane of me. It's not progressive. I don't view it as progressive. $40 billion could have done that. Exactly. And now we're giving $1.5 billion to Ukraine monthly. Monthly. What? Like, come on. Come on. We gave them 40 bill. Now we're giving them more billions. Come on. You know? But it's not progressive. It's not progressive at all. It's like the way a lot of economies have worked back in the day. So, no. LOL, but progressives make the same argument on student debt. Yeah, and so do I, and I'm not a progressive. If I had to label myself, I've tried to label myself. It's kind of hard. Can you roast Jesus real quick? No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I mean, just like a Muslim won't roast Allah, will he? Doesn't make any sense. And I won't roast Allah. I won't roast Mohammed. I respect those figures. And I don't think that they should be joked about. I mean, that's my opinion. I think that we can joke about everything, but I don't think that it's, I don't know. I just don't feel right joking about Jesus, Muhammad, Allah, any of the patriarchs. Just doesn't sit right with me. Like I said, progressives look to other countries. Wrong. I'm not contradicting myself. Like I said, native Dan86, you gotta learn some logic, my friend. You gotta learn critical thinking. Do you think slavery is the same as minimum wage? I think being nuclear is the future, 100%. And by nuclear, we're talking nuclear families. Be a rebel, start a family. That's what we're talking about. Do you think slavery is the same as minimum wage? I think you're a slave if you are like really, really, really like your livelihood is, I don't want to say dependent, but controlled by something else. Nuclear energy? Yeah, the nuclear family has nuclear energy, bro. Come on. Have a big family. Be a rebel. The American population is collapsing. Don't want kids, fewer people should have them. The American population is collapsing. Have more children. It isn't, though. It is. By definition, mathematically, it is. You are not using logic. You're agreeing with me on student debt. No, my friend. You don't. Anyway, no. When I say look to other countries, you know what? That's just a dumb statement, dude. Like conservatives look to other countries too. Liberals look to other countries as well. Why are you lying for clout? I am not lying for clout. I'm 100% serious. I don't think everybody should have a baby. I'm a bit of a eugenicist, as we've established earlier. I've changed my position on that. I used to be like, kids for everybody, like Oprah Winfrey, but then I really like ruled back on that. And smart people aren't having any. I know, and that's the problem. That's why I got to have all the kids. Me and Elon Musk are over here, big brains, having a bunch of kids. Like, come on. But we don't do what other countries have succeeded in. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? I think Steve Jobs had kids. Bill Gates has kids. But yeah, a lot of smart people aren't having kids. And if you ever watched the movie Idiocracy, that's where we're heading. That's where we're heading because, as somebody mentioned earlier, some dude who works in a lab allegedly said that the average IQ is dropping. What do you do for a living? I do a lot of things for a living, my friend. I do a lot of things. I've already established this earlier. What do you mean? What am I talking about? You're just making no sense. Native Dan, I would like to smoke a peace pipe with you. That'd be pretty cool. So nothing? Okay, man. I do a lot. I do a lot. I run two companies. I got a family. I do some side work at a farm. Like, I do a lot, man. I do a lot. So, what companies? One of them is Ace One Cleaning, LLC, and then the other one is MOT Media. You're watching one of our master productions here. And then, yeah, I do a bunch of other shit outside of that too. Trump was president. We already did Idiocracy. And now we have Joe Biden, right? Next thing you know, we're going to have Terry Crews as president. Maybe that's The Rock. Maybe that's The Rock's role. What do y'all in the comments do for a living? Yeah, for real. Everybody's asking me, what do I do for a living? I'm over here being generous, just giving out my private information. I make good money. I'm not even, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Google, it took 364,000 years for our eyes to evolve. Okay, yeah, totally don't believe that whatsoever. Because once again, the evolution science, as it is known, the theory of evolution, let me emphasize that, the theory of evolution wouldn't make any sense with an eyeball. It just doesn't. How does this thing come out of survival of the fittest? Look at this thing. How does that come out of survival of the fittest? You won't survive long enough to develop an eyeball. What about your ear? What about your, like, I don't know. I'm a zookeeper. I mean, he kind of is. He ain't lying. Smoking a peace pipe wouldn't be very Christian. Nowhere in the Bible, like, you're just assuming Christianity. No, it's not that I don't understand it. It's that it actually makes no sense. It makes no sense, guys. Like, maybe someday y'all wake up and realize this. Like, Darwin has been found out to be a fraud, by the way. You know, it's coming out that he plagiarized a bunch of shit. Total fraud. You know, I mean, evolution. Evolution. one of the biggest. I mean, evolution is the gateway to transhumanism. It's the gateway to veganism. And transhumanism's bad. Veganism's bad. So evolution, if its fruits are bad, then it itself is bad, and they have to keep changing it. The body is a temple. John Hanson, 12 Days of Evolution series. Watch it. I might, but I might not, if I'm being completely honest with you. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. That's what's up. That's what's up. Eyes are interesting as hell. I think I got that right. Is it the feet? It is the feet. Let's see. I'm a surgical assistant. That's what's up. That's what's up. Turn on live. No. I don't know. Why do I got this invite to go on? No, I got it wrong. Orthos is bone. Yeah, I did get it wrong. Let me look this up. Is it like your feet or something? Doctor, specialist. Let's see. Okay. Dang, I'm getting schooled here. Let's see. I'm just interested in this. So it's like a bone surgeon then? Is that all it is? Like, is that all it is? No, surgeons are cool as hell. I have mad respect for surgeons. Bones, joints, ligaments, tendons, muscles, nerves. Surgeons, close. That's okay, cool. Yeah, surgeons, I have mad respect for surgeons. Surgeons are like one of the probably one of the only professions in Western medicine that I really, really like. I'm dead serious. I think surgeons are freaking awesome. Okay. Yeah. I think so. I have mad respect for surgeons. Like, you have to be so skilled, so intelligent. Um, you probably have to have really good dexterity as well, I would imagine. They believe science. No, they don't believe. I mean, yeah, they do believe in the religious science as well, which, by the way, 2/3 of all scientific studies in modern academia, the modern scientific field cannot be reproduced. Fact, that's 66%. And it's increasing every day. No, they don't. Like, yes, they do believe in the religious science, but they know that science is real. I know that science is real. I've already mentioned this before. I know that observable science is real. The scientific method is real, 100%. Still not sure what you are not playing. So, do cats have souls, in your opinion? I don't know. 86% of the statistics are made up on the stop, or made up on the spot. Yeah, this is true, but what I'm saying is true. You just have to believe me. No, but seriously, look into it a little bit. This is a huge thing. This is a huge thing, actually. It's called the reproducibility crisis in science. Trust me. Yeah, I was joking. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, seriously, if you look into it, early Christians would stone you for smoking a peace pipe. No, they wouldn't. Early Christians would stone you if you were found with another man. That's what they would have done. Hella based. Hella based. Anyway, I just triggered a bunch of people right there. That's for sure. Um, yeah, but the reproducibility crisis is a big one. There's an interesting debate. Hella, bro, hella, right? Um, there's an interesting debate between Vox Day and this other dude. Is this French guy on evolution? It's really good because Vox Day brings a perspective that nobody ever brings. And let me try to find it here. I'm not going to watch it here, but I just want to see if I can find the guy who he debates with, and then you guys can check it out. JF, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. SADS is just a nice way of saying, yeah, 100%. The Jabadoos are doing damage. Faux show. Faux show. And hopefully they'll wake people up to SIDS. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, if you guys are interested in watching a really, really good debate on evolution, it is with, I want to see what your wife looks like. My wife is pregnant, does not want to be on camera. But I don't know, maybe she does want to be on camera. Do you want to be on camera? Do you want to show the people, reveal the people your beauty? No? All right. I'll let you sit this one out. All right, let's see. Do you believe if you put monkeys in a room, they could create art? If no, I don't. I don't. I don't. You had a computer this whole time? Oh yeah, I'm streaming too on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, everywhere, dude. Everywhere. This is a professional show. I'm a professional producer. Not really. Obviously. Helping us by wishing the greatest president in the U.S. history a blessed and happy birthday. I get that. I don't blame her. Yeah, yeah. She's sitting on her laptop right now. She's just over there chilling. So, but I promise you, I do not. I mean, if you just do some digging into me, Luis Acevedo, you'll find my Instagram. You'll just happen to stumble upon other social media sites. And then you may just happen to see a picture of my wife. If your wife wanted a divorce, would you let her go? That's awesome. I just had a baby 2 weeks. Congratulations. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm glad you just had a baby. That's awesome. That's a beautiful thing. Life is a beautiful thing. If your wife wanted to divorce you, would you let her go? No. She's forever bound to me. She sold her soul to me by the time when we had arranged the marriage. It was done. Did he just try to steal your wife? He did. He did. But she's my property. So, and I don't take kindly to other men trying to take my property. Congrats on the future family members. 100%. 100%. Yeah, so that's awesome. That's awesome. You just had a baby 2 weeks ago. I'm so happy to hear that. We're going to have a baby in September. Yeah, that's very cult-like. Whatever. It's just called I'm Not a Cuck, my friend. Twins. We had twins. My wife and I. Yeah, we still have. I just use the past tense. I'm over here bragging about my big brain like Elon Musk, and I can't even use the right tense. God damn it. Yeah, we have twins. We have twin daughters. What's a cuck in your definition? Because you use it a lot. Somebody who's weak and caves to nonsense. You know it's 2022, not 1952, right? Nah, dude, I live way back in like 80 AD. That's where my mindset's at. 80 AD. Get out the stones, Abdul. We see a woman out in the streets, not like, talking to another man, and we know she has a husband. Get out the stones. Abdul, stones, haram. 80 AD. That's where I'm at. Get with the program. That's the future. 80 AD is the future. I should make a billboard. Yeah, but that's a cuck. Just like what you're doing. I mean, my wife's over here, and she was like, "What he's doing." Oh, that's the definition. Oh man, that's great. That's great. So wildest live ever. I'm glad to hear it. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe everywhere. MOT Media. MOT Media. So Monday through Friday, we have the Honest Hour, which is what you're witnessing. On Sundays, we do MOT Today, where it's the rest of the crew, and we do a recap of current events. And then Saturdays, the two other guys, James and Mick, they do MOT Sports. I do nothing with that. You lost all credibility a long time ago. I don't care that you don't find me credible. This is definitely the Honest Hour, 100%. But it's going on like the Honest Hour and a half, which is cool too. I mean, we can keep rifting here. I was actually going to bring up this article that I wanted to cover earlier in the show. Sometimes the comment sections and the crowds just kind of hijack it. But that it is what it is. I like it. I like it. I don't care that you guys think that I've lost all credibility. I know what I'm saying is true. And I will never lie to you here. So I may be wrong. So maybe not all of what I'm saying is true. Like I may be wrong on some things. But I will never intentionally, nobody here in this company that works for me will ever intentionally try to deceive you. Our goal is to help everybody try to stay ahead of the curve. I do have a really good track record. You can look back at my old videos and stuff. I've called things really spot on years in advance. I do have what some would say archaic views, but it's been a long time coming. I've been on a long journey. The article is about paying 2 shillings for shillings for yeah. Let's see. No, this is actually an interesting article. So it's from Zero Hedge. I like Zero Hedge a lot. This show is the best. Seriously, missed it when it was censored. Yeah, right. You're only 26. Calm down. Hey. In my 26 years, I've actually been right quite a bit in my 26 years. I haven't been right about everything, but I've called a lot in a couple years. I won't say years, but I'll say a couple years. I'm usually 2-3 years ahead. I'm not just saying that to brag. I'm actually like this is me being truthful. And I'm not right about everything. I get some things wrong. Like I thought that that's fun. He's very confused. He's based on reality, whatever. How long have you been on? On this particular live, I've been on 1 hour and 31 minutes. But I've been doing podcasting for like 6 years. Do you remember 9? Yeah, I do. My dad, so I'll tell you my 9/11 story. Everybody huddle around as we reminisce on what we shall not remember. Shall not forget. So when I was a wee lad, I was in elementary school. I think I was in kindergarten. What grade were you in? So I was in kindergarten. Doing what kindergartners do. And I remember that the teachers rolled in a TV. Looking back at this, I'm like, why in the hell would you show this to children? But anyway, they rolled in the TV and they were like, this is what just happened. And I was like, okay, I don't know. And then my dad came and got me from school because he was like, I don't know what they're going to attack next. And so my dad got me out of school that day. And I don't remember much after that because I was really young. But I do remember going home. I think we lived in a duplex at the time. Yeah, I think it was in the duplex. My grandma was in the room. My dad was there. My mom was there. They were kind of scared, obviously, as to what was going on. Everybody fell for the psyop, the false flag. Everybody fell for it. Not everybody. But then my truther journey started in middle school. We saw the Challenger explosion in 9/11, built different. Yeah. It's interesting. There's an interesting conspiracy. I haven't looked into it much, but you guys may find interest in it if you guys are, willing to do this. There were allegedly like the same people who were allegedly on the Challenger explosion were later like teaching at universities. And they allegedly had twin brothers and sisters. It's really weird. Oh, there's a good conspiracy on this. On the Challenger explosion, yeah. I haven't looked much into it. I'm not saying whether it's true or not, whether I believe that one or not. Because I just don't. There's certain ones that I don't care. It is what it is. But yeah, allegedly, it came like allegedly they have twins. They all have identical twins, which the probability of that is so low that it makes it impossible. But yeah, I remember the space shuttle crash in the 80s, and they rolled in TV. Why would they do that? Yeah, because they try to traumatize you. Because schooling is public school is not good. It's never really. I mean, like your surgeons, they're they need school. So obviously, like school is not always bad. Um, Clones, I see that clones. No, I don't believe in clones. I think that's insane. I think clones. That theory is insane to me. It is just I never bought into that. Never, never, ever, ever. It just now I do believe in like body doubles. Like you have somebody that looks very close to somebody else, and you can have them fill in for them. But yeah, but no, but even for school, I think like a lot of medical professionals um, get subverted in some way because that's even corrupted. That field's heavily corrupted. All fields are corrupted. And it's not me just being this grand conspiracy theorist saying that. I mean, over time, we all know that institutions deteriorate. They do. Things over time deteriorate. So, you know, all these institutions become corrupt. So then everybody in those institutions gets a lesser education. It's just that simple. But the reason that they show you that is to traumatize you because I don't know, that's what they do, man. It's all about trauma. Trauma is what will keep you in the society more than anything. It's what will keep you a part of the zeitgeist, trauma. So they want you to also, and also it'll help you believe in their lies, right? They'll create this horrible memory, this trauma, tell you what it is, and then have a totally different purpose why they're doing it. Like, I mean, we could have more intense conspiracy talks and all that stuff if you guys would like some other time. I'm not in the right mindset to go that deep right now. What about the Dolly clone? Yeah, that for sure. No, like I believe like they were able to clone like an animal, but I don't think they'll be able to clone humans. Maybe they will be able to. I don't know. I don't. I find that. Well, I find the conspiracy theory that they have human clones on the ready for these actors. All these luminaries. They have them on the ready to fill in and do a job. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But yeah, we've definitely made clones in a lab. And I think that, we're trying to head towards a future where we have test tube babies. And I think that's a big reason why the LGBTQ agenda is being pushed so heavily is for population control. Just natural. I mean, there's an interesting book on it. If you guys are readers, if you guys like reading, I love to read. I'm a big reader. Um, I didn't try. I used to read a book every week. Now I just don't. I mean, I could with audiobooks, but it's just, yeah, I have so much other shit. Anyway, we are 3D printing organs right now. It's pretty cool. That is really cool. That is really cool. How does that work though? Like, how do you actually 3D print an organ? IVF is pretty normal stuff. Actually, it's really bad. IVF is really bad because naturally you should have the strongest sperm and the strongest egg meet. But when you have IV or the strongest sperm, I think that's how it will work. Whatever. And with IVF, you eliminate that. You just don't know which one's going to be the best, and so that's why a lot of IVF babies tend to have a lot more disabilities and stuff. It's not good. It's not good overall for society. Um, but yeah, the test tube babies, which would be the IVF. But yeah, that's what you were referring to. But the 3D printing organs, that's pretty interesting. I'm very fascinated with 3D printing. But the book I was talking about, really quick, is The Forever War. I don't remember the author right now. Let me try to find him. The Forever War depicts the whole Joe Hedelman. Yeah. If you guys are interested in a really good read, I think it depicts modern day society, the West, very well. It's a 1974 military science fiction book. It's really cool. It's really cool. So there's like they call it the Forever War because of time dilation and space time. Like, they would travel and Yeah, you guys get it. Spice dilation. Printer has biocompatible plastics. So are there like different? So they're like so the organs are plastic, and then is that like or is it silicone? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm really curious. And is that safe to like is if it is plastic, is it safe to put in a body or like how do you do that? Or are they even trying to put 3D printed organs in bodies yet? Or is this like still like very experimental? This is very fascinating. I'm not anti-medicine either for everybody that's like, oh, you don't believe in science. I said that I do know that science is real. I don't have to believe in it. And medicine is good. There's just a lot of modern day medicine that I think is excessive and evil, dare I say. But like this 3D printing organ stuff, super cool. I know there's going to be a lot of truthers that are like, "What's your stance on aliens?" Yeah, I already mentioned that earlier, and it's I don't believe in aliens from outer space. I do think that there's extra territory on Earth that we haven't explored yet, and so that's where you get extraterrestrial because extra territory. It's just from extra territory on Earth that we haven't explored yet, or we have explored, but us commoners know nothing about. There's a lot of I can't remember the pilot's name, but he flew collagen, human connective tissue, synthetic blood, etc. Still in trial phase. Interesting. Okay. So, are you guys going to be doing like some Westworld shit in your hospital then? Or I don't even know if this is your hospital, but is that is this where we're heading? Westworld. It's very fascinating. I think that it's actually going to be a huge thing, and it's going to save a lot of lives. Um, but maybe this will allow for them to just completely make a human in a 3D printer. I don't know. The UFO black triangles are ours. Yeah, I mean the Nazis had UFO technology. I've said too much. Do not read. All right. Trust me, your secret's safe here and with the few other people that listen to this. Could people who could survive undetected create stuff we don't understand in your opinion? Yeah, and I don't know that they're undetected. They could be detected and we just don't know about it. Or they could be walking among us. Huh. Man, I never showed you guys that article. So this is the title right here. It says, "Hang on, what do you mean green energy? Just renewable energy." And this is actually the article that we're getting into. We're reverse engineering using the triangles. Yeah. All right. So it's titled "Electricity Soars Across Much of Illinois as Brownouts Loom." So a brownout is just when you get a decrease in voltage, which is less severe than a blackout, obviously. So the reason for this that they're happening, this power prices are going up in Illinois, is and why they're probably going to have some brownouts where they're going to have reduced voltage, which will probably lead into blackouts, is because of this aggressive green policy to switch everything over to renewable energies, which I've come to think that oil may be a renewable energy because there's a lot of like people who work in the oil field, oil industry, who say that they've tapped drills 20 years ago and they go back 20 years and it's full. Like they tap it dry, they think it's dry, and then it's full. And then we also have this narrative of like peak oil, but then we never get peak oil. We keep finding more and more oil. So I don't know. Nobody really knows what oil is. They say it's fossil fuels, but I think that's totally insane. I don't think that makes sense. I've heard this interesting theory. What was it yesterday? That it's actually bacteria. That oil is. I can't remember the type of bacteria, but Christopher Gardner was talking about it on an Owen Benjamin stream, and apparently it's some type of bacteria that just keeps reproducing. Anyway, So they have this renewable energy agenda that they're pushing hard, and so a lot of the coal plants have shut down production, and a lot of the other oil fields and stuff are like, yo, we just don't know the longevity of our industry. So why would we invest billions of dollars in it? Reasonable, very reasonable. And so that's why we're having the issues that we're having, because they passed this Clean Energy and Job Acts in Illinois, which would require 100% renewable energy by 2050. And so it's just causing a lot of issues across the country. Now, this isn't to say that I'm against renewable energy. Actually, one of the things that I do on the side is sell solar panels. And I think that solar panels will be successful. I think that windmill power will be successful. I think renewable energy is good, but I think that we're going to have a hybrid grid. But that's what I wanted to bring up in relationship to what, the article is very interesting. Because nobody's really talking about that on the green energy front. And then also you got to produce all this quote unquote pollution to get these things, right? Like I saw a video the other day of this woman. I think she was the CEO of a company or something. She was bragging about the charging station she had outside of her facility, saying that it's, allows for renewable energy. But then asked what powers it. She's like, well, it's the building's energy that actually powers it. Well, where does the building get its energy from? Well, maybe natural gas. And then they talked to the owner of the energy sector that, provide that energy business that provided it. I can't remember the name. He was like, yeah, like 90% of this building is run by coal. So I think we just need to be more honest about the marketing and the narrative. I don't think it's, who knows, maybe coal isn't necessarily not renewable energy either. Maybe we are using renewable energy, but there's just better ways to extract energy from the environment. Maybe it'd be better if we had a diverse way to get energy. I don't know. Do you think burning oil is partially responsible for climate change? I don't think that it's good for the environment. I don't know that it's not good for the environment, actually. I know what the mainstream science says. I've read Merchants of Doubt. I've done I went to the liberal colleges, guys. I know. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, climate change is real because the climate is always changing. But I don't know that it is partially responsible for it. Like, I don't know. Do you think climate change is real? I just said that climate change is real. It changes all the time. The climate changes all the time. I mean, that's why they switched the language. I don't know how true this is, but my wife and I, we just watched the movie Vice about Dick Cheney, and they were showing some images, some footage of the think tank that they had created. Can't change the sun. Fact. That's when people are like, truth is all relative, bro. I'm like, the sun comes up every morning and the moon comes up every night. That ain't relative, bro. That's objective. Just think of how trees would be left, how few trees would be left if we hadn't been using oil all these years. Yeah, just think about how few trees would be, just think about all the trees that would be left if we didn't build houses. We didn't build buildings. If we didn't start fires, didn't cook food. Just think about all the trees that'll be left. Anyway, but in this movie Vice, they showed the think tank groups, and they were like, do you think global warming or climate change is better? And everybody agreed that climate change was better. So I think that climate change, I have no proof on this, but I think that climate change is based on, well, I do, from the narratives that have been perpetuated by the media. That's proof, right? That they've changed it to climate change over global warming. Do you think human technology has affected climate change? That's what I'm saying. Oil has been good for saving trees. Gotcha. Okay, I thought that you were not saying that. Anyway, I misread your question. My apologies. Not your question, your statement. Let's see. So, but there was a there's a statement. Humans can't change the effects of the sun too. Actually, I've been seeing some really interesting stuff on that. That our consciousness, if we're in the right frequency, you can influence the environment around you. Very interesting. I don't know though. I'm just now getting hipped to this idea. I have to think about it some more. Maybe do a little more research. But do I think human technology has affected climate change? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, like we do have weather modification now. That is a thing. But I think that you can pay to make it rain in Saudi Arabia. Pay to make it rain in Saudi. Yeah, scientists create 52 artificial rainstorms in Abu Dhabi. So yeah, definitely, definitely. But all right, guys, we're going on 2 hours. It's almost midnight where I be. So I'm gonna get out of here. I will be back here tomorrow though. So please hit the like button, share button, comment, all that good stuff. Follow. And MOT Media is where you can find us everywhere: Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Yeah. So much love, guys. And we will see you tomorrow. Peace.